Hello and welcome to a new video. This is most likely going to be quite a speedy video because it's really hot in my room. I'm really tired because I'm still recovering from YALC and I just want to sleep. So as you would have seen from the title and the thumbnail, this is an unhaul. It's not a tiny unhaul, but it's not a particularly big unhaul. I've done bigger unhauls. But there's just like a few books that I just really do not care for. So, and there's various reasons, which I'll go into. I'm really sorry if I'm a little bit out of it, but it's just the heat and post-con cold is kicking my butt. So, let's just get stuck in. So, the first one that I'm going to unhaul might surprise you. It's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. Now, this is actually, it's just the standard edition, but it is a duplicate, and this has a rip in the dust jacket. I don't need it because I already have this one here, which is actually annotated and tabbed. So I'm going to unhaul this one because it is damaged and it's exactly the same. So that one's going. Again, another duplicate is Cinder by Marissa Mayer. I had Cinder, like the first book, and then Erin was kind enough to give me her copies of the entire series, so I don't need the copy I had, which is in worse condition because I actually got this from a charity shop, I think. So this is going because it's a duplicate. Next we have Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This was on my self-destruct last year, I think. Was it? I don't even know at this point, but I'm unhauling it because I haven't read it and I don't think I'm going to. So yeah. Next we have How Do You Like Me Now by Holly Bourne. Again, this is a bit of a shock. I wasn't a massive fan of this. Holly Bourne's YA books are like auto-buy for me. This was the first of her adult books that I had read, and I just wasn't a massive fan of decisions the character made, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have liked. I do have a physical arc, so I will be keeping the physical arc, but the finished copy I'm just not going to reread, so I'm unhauling. Next is The Queen's Fall by Ali Sherrick. This is one that I had on last year's self-destruct and I managed to read it, and I wasn't a massive fan. I'm never going to reread and I just don't see the point in keeping it, so as it's just taking up unnecessary room. So yeah. Then we have Santa Gets a Second Job by Michelle D'Ignazio. I really enjoyed this. It was cute, however, and it doesn't take up a lot of room on my shelf. However, I don't think I'll ever reread it, so I don't see the point in keeping it. Like I said, it was a cute read. I just won't reread it. Then we have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I did enjoy this, not as much as I was expecting, but I did enjoy it. But once again, I don't think I'll reread it, and I know there are books on my shelves that I'll probably never reread, but this one I have no need to keep it. Nothing is making me want to keep it on my shelves, so I'm unhauling. The final I'm going to show you that I have actually read, you're probably going to be expecting, and then the rest of the ones are ones I haven't read, but this is, I'm getting rid of the Vampire Academy series. If you've watched my vlog where I read Last Sacrifice, or if you've watched my June wrap up, you will know how much I absolutely despise something that happens near the end of this book, and it has ruined the entire series for me. The only downside to unhauling is I have to take all the tabs out of books 2, 3, 4 and 5. Which is going to be interesting. So yeah, I'm unhauling this. I'm not going to go into my hatred for this again, but it is a hatred, like, at this point. So yeah, a lot of shelf space is being cleared up with this though. Okay, next up we have the Fairy Loot edition of Year of the Reaper by Micaiah Lucia. I have heard, I don't think anything good about this book, and I just have no interest in picking it up, like, at all. So I'm just gonna get rid of it because there's no point in it staying on my shelves or my book cart when I'm not gonna read it. And for the same reason, I have the Fairy Loot edition of Witches Steeped in Gold by Sianan Smart. I At first I wanted to read this, and the cover is absolutely stunning. And to be fair, even the standard cover is stunning and the paperback is stunning. But I've heard very mixed things, and the actual story, I'm falling out of love with YA fantasy. So I don't see the point in keeping this when I know there's probably people out there that would rather have this edition than me, which is a shame because it's pretty. And then I've basically gone through the top shelf of one of my book carts, which is where I keep book box books that I haven't yet read. And I've got rid of a bunch. Now, all but 2 of them are from Tales by Mail, which is part of the reason I actually ended up cancelling that subscription a while back, because I just was not reading any of the books that I was getting from there. But first up, there was a couple from Fairy Loot that were paperbacks in addition. So we have The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna, same as Witches Steeped in Gold. I'm just not interested in YA fantasy as much anymore. I'm sort of sticking to authors and series that I've already started, and I'm kind of straying away from starting anything new in the YA fantasy genre. So unfortunately these aren't being read, and I just don't see the point. And the same goes for Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. This sounds incredible, but I know I'm not going to enjoy the fact that it's YA fantasy. So maybe one day I might see them on a Kindle deal or something, and I might give them a go. But I don't see the point in keeping these editions on my shelves taking up space, when right now all I want to do is buy adult fantasy. Even that is a bit at the moment, and romance. So yeah. And then the rest are all middle grade, which again, I've sort of like not fallen out of love with middle grade, but I'm just not feeling drawn to pick up most middle grades lately. So we have The Night Silver Promise by Annalise Avery. I was really interested in this when I first heard about it, but I'm just not fussed anymore, and I feel really bad about this because these are probably amazing books, but I just don't think I'm going to read them, so there's no point keeping them. Then we have Children of the Quicksands by Ifua Traore. Again, I mean, I've heard nothing about this, good or bad, so I'm not taking any like opinions from anyone else. I just have no interest in picking these books up. Same goes for The Weather Weaver by Tamsin Mori. The cover is stunning. The idea of it sounds amazing. I just don't think I'm going to get to it anytime soon. Then we have Hope Jones Saves the World by Josh Lacey. Again, it's a really short one, but I don't think I'm going to read it. And honestly, this one would be great to give to the charity shop, and hopefully a kid will find it. And I feel like this is much better for actual kids. So yeah, this one was just in a Tales by Mal as an additional. I think there was 3 books in the box that month, and this was like just a third additional book, because usually you got 2. Then we have Darwin's Dragons by Lindsay Galvin. This is the one that I was kind of debating whether to keep or not, because I did read The Secret Deep by Lindsay Galvin and I did enjoy it. And when I first heard about this one, I was like, this is amazing, but this sounds really historical and I'm just not here for it. So I'm not going to keep it. I'm sorry. And then the final one, I told you this was going to be a really quick unhaul. Like, I'm looking at my shelves and I'm like, is there anything else? I don't think there is. And the final one is The Midnight Guardians by Ross Montgomery. I've heard amazing things about this. I would probably love it, but I just don't want to read it. So I just don't see the point in keeping it and it taking up shelf space, because this is quite a chunky one as well. So it's like going to take up quite a lot of space. So yeah, this one's going as well. So I think that's it for the unhaul. I'm not seeing anything else here that I want to get rid of. Everything else here is stuff that I do actually still want to read. I don't know how quickly I'm going to get to it, but it is stuff that I am still pretty invested in. There's probably a few that are like sitting on a boulder, which might be in a next unhaul if I don't get to them by then. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But on that note, that's everything. So I've got rid of quite a few. I'm going to count them. Okay, Okay, so I still got rid of 23 books, which is pretty good for a small unhaul. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy this. If there are any of these that you do want, I mean, the 2 Fairy Little hardbacks will be going up on my eBay. But if there's any of the other books that you want, let me know. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to go to the charity shop, so I might still have them in the house for a while. So if there's any other books that are like taking your fancy and you want to like want them, then let me know. Like, I'm not gonna ask for much, like probably just postage, so let me know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.